Okay, so this video is about timing belt placement when you uh being observant. Now I always say the ES V6 engine timing belts hardly fail, and I've never come across one that failed. However, I always also point out that it shouldn't be taken for granted. And I probably on few occasions I mentioned that I've come across one or two that were weak. The V6 one that were actually weak, the point of replacement. I think it was one, if I could remember, that I've experienced in the past. That was almost, I won't say almost about to break, but at least it was that weak. In fact, I even drove it from Kaduna to Abuja in that condition. We didn't even know until we removed the chamber. Now, this one you are looking at on the screen is also timing belt removed from ES9A V6 engine from a 407 V6. So, you can see the belt has weakened, and you can see it has torn. It's not like something uh hit it or damage it, or maybe a sharp object uh was used on it. No. In fact, there's another place too, but this one was like the biggest cut on the belt. So there's another side of part of the belt too that had this kind of mark, but not as big as this. So that's the reason. Yeah, and funny enough, we were about changing the timing belt when we now found this. So had it been we didn't change it. In fact, because the owner asked and if he should, I said, if you can get the belt, why not? Even though the V6 belt hadn't failed, however, I don't take my own personal cars for granted. I've changed them. Once they are due, I change them. That's what I do. So, and he took my advice. Okay, we change it. And here we are. Remove the old one and found this. So, if you drive a V6 engine, irrespective of they hardly fail, I've never met anyone that fail, and everybody is telling you, oh, if it's VC, don't bother. I get that, but look for new belt and change it. They do expire. I know Peugeot said every 10 years replace yours for ES9A engine. Is it either a 9 or 8 years, 9 or 10 years, then or 180,000 kilometer, 190,000 kilometer, whichever comes first. So if I were you, you should start working towards replacing your timing belt, unless you are sure you change it and it has not covered up to 180 or 190,000 kilometer or 10 years. So, or 9 years. Don't know. Trying to remember which one. So, if you are not sure, look for high quality timing belt for your V6 engine and replace it. Remember, if your timing belt on your V6 fails, including the auxiliary belt, not just the timing, in fact, you should even be more concerned with the timing. The reason why the V6 timing belt hardly fail is not because they don't weaken like every other belt. No, they do. But they don't stress as much as the ones on the four cylinder stress while on high RPM. The V6 can withstand those kind of the belt doesn't stress that much, even as you are pushing your engine that high compared to that of four cylinder. So that's why even when they are weak, they won't easily cut off like that. But if it's four cylinder, once you push the RPM, that most time we don't even need to push it that high. Boom, it's gone. So for V6, if it cuts, talking of ES engines, ES9A, ES9J4S, ES9J4. If your timing belt cut or zero belt cut and jump into your timing chamber and mess up your valve, it's as good as buying another engine. Because for the other engines, or four cylinder engines, They are what's it called, valves, intake, exhaust valves. You can easily get them in the market. New one, used ones that are still good. You can easily get them very cheap. But for VCs, yeah, they are not even. Well, it's possible, but they are hard to get. The valves, used ones. So in other words, you have two options: replace the cylinder head, look for a used cylinder head with the valve that the valves are still intact, or you replace the engine. And the cost of replacing those two, remember there are two cylinder heads. Sometimes you look at it, it's as if you can as well just buy another engine. So these are the things you need to be well concerned. You should be very concerned if you have a V6, a Peugeot vehicle that uses timing belt. Don't take it for granted. And it's not just your timing belt, your auxiliary belt as well. Because most times it's not even the timing belt that cause headache or this kind of failure. When I'm talking about valve failure on the V6, usually the auxiliary belt, not the timing belt. However, timing belt can still do that. This one on the screen, if the owner have used it for a very long time, I don't even know how long it will take before it gives up in this condition. So sometimes some people will want to see the sign. See, maybe if I've been saying that without showing you a proof, it will be like I don't know what I'm talking about. Now you see the proof that it can happen. But some people, even after hearing this, they will still prefer to experience that failure before they will learn. So, okay, I hope that makes sense to those who are ready to prevent this kind of experience. All right.